And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. We are going to do the travel ban situation. It's looking like people are upset over it, but to be honest with you, it's something that should have happened a long time ago, I believe. And I think that this guy's saying, "Oh, it ain't doing nothing. Let's just keep all of it going." It's all about money. At least Mr. T's kicking it in. We'll see how much more.
Asked Europeans to be allowed into the US. If the US have to take those measures, let them take them. We need to be prudent and careful, but there's no need to get desperate.
It affects me because I work in the US. I had to change my ticket and bring the trip forward, because if not, I would have found the border closed.
The new US rules mark a sudden escalation in Trump's response to the virus, and they seem to catch US allies and the markets off guard. As well as making political waves, they will be a huge blow to travelers and to airlines operating routes across the Atlantic. The tourism industry has already been hit hard by the virus, as governments tighten restrictions and travelers think twice about whether to go on vacation in these uncertain times.
Well, Trump's travel ban caught a lot of people by surprise here in Europe. Let's go over to correspondent Bernd Riegert, who's standing by for us in Brussels. Hi, Bernd. EU leaders have been holding an emergency meeting to discuss this decision from the White House. What's emerged from that meeting?
The EU Commission and also the 27 member states issued a statement saying that they disapprove of this travel ban, especially because there was no consultation, no warning that this would come. And the EU says that doesn't make sense because this is a global virus and you cannot contain it by just forbid people to travel, and asked to comment on the allegations the president.
They said you can't contain it by limiting travel. 1 minute they're giving praise to China for their lockdown and they're such wonderful government over there and things are just great and that's how you handle this. Next minute now we've got the European Union and a bunch of these bozos saying, "Oh, that's not the way to do it because it's affecting our pocketbooks." GG. Well, I'm sorry, but we have to do something at this point. And, as far as vacation, guys, I'm on such a fixed income. I haven't had a vacation in almost 20 years, guys. Locally, I haven't had one in 10. And we're talking just within 100 miles of my house to, go to the dunes or something or, have some fun camping. So, in reality, I understand people need to have vacations, but with this danger, you should take local. I believe that's the answer. Local vacations, or stay home and become family again. Anyway, back to the news.
Trump made in his speech. The spokesperson of the Commission only said, "We have more serious things to do than to deal with that."
Bernd, what does this U.S. travel ban mean for Europeans?
Well, it means that travelers from 26 so-called Schengen countries cannot travel to the US. These are not all EU member states. For example, Romania, Bulgaria, Ireland are not part of the Schengen zone, so these citizens can travel, but also Switzerland and Norway are included in this ban, and Great Britain is also not included. But the Commission says it's not quite clear how this will work in practice because they have no information how this travel ban will be implemented. Does it concern only European carriers or does it concern American carriers also? And there are many mixed carriers like United and Lufthansa or KLM and Air France, and the Commission does not know how this will actually work starting on Saturday morning.
Regardless, it could be very difficult for the European economy, Ben. So what is the EU doing to address that?
Yeah, there will certainly be an impact on the economy. You can already see that this morning. All the stock exchanges in Europe are down. The shareholders expect things to get worse, obviously. And the European Central Bank is meeting.
Okay. It's time for Troy's 2 cents, and welcome to Healthcare Sucks officially. Uh, I had a little bit of a sore throat thing going myself, but I'm back on duty again because I'm here for you because you're here for me. So, with that being said, I want to throw something else at you guys, and I want you to all think about this very sincerely. You know, I'm watching the impact of this. And I'm watching how it's affecting everything, stock markets, monies. I'm trillions of dollars out the window now. And it's crippling, literally crippling. Like when they did the interview with Italy, they said they haven't had anything like this since World War II. I propose to you that since there's no sick military in China, there's no emperor's family sick at all, and Xi's running around like he's totally immune. Could it be because he is immune? Because he had a vaccination? Because when they created this W.19 in the lab that's 200 yards from the wet market, guys, think about this. Of course they created antiviral and vaccinations for it. And I put to you, they've already had it. And with that, I want to throw one more thing at you guys. The recovery rate seems to be, even though you can't trust anything over there, they had the incinerators going. We know what's going on behind the curtain somewhat. But if there are people recovering, it's because they're giving it to their people to recover now. So think about it like this. A war without a shot even being fired. A coronavirus war. World War WW3 coronavirus. The Wuhan-19 monster. Goes out, invades all the countries, tears them down, tears up the very roots of all the markets. Because China wasn't going to win this. We were going to win this battle, it looked like, over the trade wars and all this stuff. And I think they had been planning something for a long time. Now, whether I can prove this, no more than I can prove or they can prove that it's not a bioweapon, that it didn't come from the lab, that they didn't release it in meat on purpose, giving it to some older gentleman or woman to carry over to that wet market to start the spread. Gee, it looks awful funny that they already knew the virus was out there, and they had that meeting with, 2,000 free dinners in one place to spread it. I mean, the more you look at this, the more I'm tending to believe this is not an accident. Period. That's my opinion. You're welcome to feed into it or not. We'll get back on some ground earth now, because at Healthcare Sucks, we try to bring you all options and all theories and all beliefs. And I'm not the only one thinking these things, by the way, guys. And with that, we use the Fair Use Act, and everything here is fiction. All those airline things are fiction. Travel bans are fiction. And it's awful funny, like, remember the other travel bans, how it was all irate? Could there be reasons to have travel bans like this? I think so. But, it's just me. When you're looking at the spread, we're in Oregon, and it's right next to Washington. Washington's the hardest hit. I put to you, Oregon's going to get hit super hard, and it's just now coming out. My sources, I have some underground sources in Oregon that said just because they're not testing doesn't mean it's not out there. And we've known of several deaths. One family member of ours now, kind of a distant one down the coast in Oregon, within 24 hours. If you watch BP Earthwatch and some other stations, that was BP Earthwatch, he's talking about people dying within 24 hours when they get hit with this thing. That's not far off. Look at Kirkland. I mean, that's pretty much what their record was, give or take, up there. So, this is hitting close to home a little bit here. I wasn't in contact, but that doesn't mean I haven't been out shopping, guys. And that's where you're going to get this thing, is out shopping. So I think we've heard what's going on. We already know the airlines are going to get hit. I've made a mistake. I want to clarify. It was Australia, not Canada, on that one, doing the package for the people, and $750. With that, the more deeper I looked into that, and we'll be covering some of that. It's not to help the very poor or the people on fixed incomes so far. And that's the problem, is it needs to be across the board. I put to you, President T, cut everybody a $10,000 check and just tell them here. Because you can do it. 10,000 is a drop in the bucket times the United States. It's not that much money, guys. Anybody that's under $100,000, here's $10,000. Bam. Anybody that's up to 200,000, kick them up another 5,000. Anybody above 200,000, you got enough to survive for the moment. More than a lot of people do. Now, with that being said, the people above 200,000 are going to be getting the killer tax breaks in that kind of situation, which go immediately to kick in. From what I understand, small businesses are going to be reimbursed, all kinds of stuff, but that doesn't mean they're going to survive the transition. I mean, this is looking real ugly really fast, guys. So with that, we're going to end this one so I can make you some more. And remember, healthcare sucks. Let me know your opinions, guys. Where you think this is going to go. We did the factory cities over there in China. I put to you, they were never short on anything. We haven't seen one sick person from one of those cities. You know why? Because they were inoculated. Because they're not sick, guys. I'm not kidding you when I read the tea leaves. The tea leaves are saying there's something afoot here, and it's big. I hope that this is enough for the world to get this sickness, and we don't have to deal with some kind of sneaky little move by some sneaky little country. I've been watching Iran and North Korea, and they're still doing things. They've got some ill people, obviously. I mean, we're not going to know the numbers. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody doesn't start something up to where it kicks this into gear. Also, whether you're knowingly or not, I've heard it from several sources now. I brought it to you a while back that we were sending over 750,000 troops overseas. It's supposed to be 1 million plus now. And we've got carriers out there doing all kinds of things. I think we're going to start seeing things go pretty fast. Remember that tick, tick, tick? I think we're at tick, 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 tick. And we're not far off from tick, 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 tick. And what that means is things moving towards one world government, one world order, Agenda 21. And if you want to see how they had planned this from the beginning, Event 201, go look that up. This is not fair porn, this is reality. I mean, you can go out there and search for yourselves, guys. Take a little time. Might have a lot of time to take. I ordered a new phone. I promise you we'll be doing better videos. Trying to get the studio set up. And remember, healthcare sucks. Over and out.